All right. I mean, we're on, so let's get on and tell the stuff. If I'm going to tell you the story, I might as well tell you the story online, right?
Yeah.
With the camera on.
I will react afresh.
Yes. So, anywho, I went to Megacon today. I'm going to go back Sunday because now I have to. But I had a great day. My daughter went with us. I tried to get someone else to go because I knew part of this was going to be me shopping for the auction. And while I'm going through comics and such, she's very much an introvert. She very much does not like to be, she's got separation anxiety. So I told her, you know, I want somebody to go along so they could walk around with her so she's not bored. But thankfully, we found places like I would look that had a lot of areas. She could look for cosplayers because we love taking pictures. I've got some pictures. And it was a good time. I had some great shopping. We went through Artist Alley, our favorite part, where you got everybody just making their little knickknacks and all that kind of stuff. And that's my favorite part of the convention. You know, because you just find all sorts of stuff. I've got 2 independent comic books here I want to show off. That, by the way, I paid $2.50 per issue and $3 for an issue. No $35 Kickstarter bullshit. It's go to a convention. People have their books there and they want you to buy them. Now, granted, occasionally you'll run into somebody who's got to charge $10 or something like that. But even then, that's sometimes less than what the Kickstarter is. So it was a good day. It really was. I got together. We got to go to a restaurant we like. It's called Cheddar's. It's a franchise restaurant, but it does fish well. And my daughter's a pescatarian, Pentecostal, something like that. I don't know. So yeah, we both got ourselves some fish and such, and we went off. And I thought, wow, my breast stank. But yeah, it's
well, fish,
of course. And we had a bad time trying to find parking. Usually we like to park in a chocolate shop. They charge $10. This time they're like 30. We're like, fuck you. The guy comes running. Oh, you want parking? You want parking? You want parking? What the freaking hell's wrong with this guy? Because he's running at our car yelling, parking, parking, parking. And I was like, the hell's going on here? He says, we got to pay him. For the last 5 years we've parked in this place, we always went inside, bought chocolate, and you pay for the parking right there at the register. This guy was like, no, you got to pay here. So what, do you take card? No. Said, yeah, then we're not parking here. First of all, it's $30. Everywhere's $30. I guarantee, I looked at it. I did say, I went, I guarantee you that not everywhere around here is $30. By the way, we ended up paying 10. But he goes, well, you can still go buy chocolate. I said, dude, you pissed me off. Get the fuck. So
you ruined my day. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it was, and then I kid you not, I said, okay, I guess we're gonna have to park at the convention, which I hate because they always put you at the grassy knoll. It's like that Simpsons episode where Homer gets to work and he parks all the way in the back, and he gets out of the car and there's Bart playing in their front yard. Hi, Homer. Yeah, it's one of those situations. So they say, okay, parking here. And we start going around. Of course, I'm obeying. There's a lot of cops. It's boop, 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 boop. And it's this nice big black tar road. I'm noticing we have a lot of room here. Where the hell are we going? And so we go in here, and this is the building. So we go in here, and it goes all the way around the building, and then out the other end. They and just kicked us right out. I was like, what the hell is this all about?
One of the benefits of being disabled is parking is not
get
quite
parking,
so very difficult.
So I was like,
even if we don't have the thing, I can just ask them to look at me and be like,
yep.
Walker.
So there's a tourist area down the road. So I figured, you know what, we're going to park in their parking garage. I should have just started there. $10, boom, done. Let's walk. Sure, it's not a close walk, but Lord knows I need the exercise. So, so we finally get in there, and we're just enjoying the. I always wonder why they always put you in the middle. Like it's never like, oh, we're going to start on A or we're going to start on D or something like that. They put you in the middle. I'm like, okay, well, let's just go down. We'll see. Elizabeth first, she wants to go to Artist Alley. Like I said, I love the little trinkets and such that people make. Or I like to look at and talk to people who create their own comics. And if they give me a good pitch, okay, yeah. I mean, it was $5, you know, cost of a regular comic. And then I've got my daughter's stickers here in this one. But there was this book called Calico. And this guy, he goes, hey, do you read comics? And I said, occasionally. And he gave the pitch, and he pitched strong. So I was like, you know what, just I'll buy. He goes, and at the end, he's like, 2 for $5. And I was like, okay. 2 for $5. Done. Sure. Let's go. So I got first issue, second issue here. And I like that. I like listening to people who are passionate about their books, talk about their books. And especially if they've got their books right there where I don't have to, once again, pay $35 on a Kickstarter. But it was a good time. The first cosplayer out the gate. I love this. And yeah, I'm going to show off. I'm regaling, and then I'm going to do an unboxing. But this guy was awesome. I think he is. Did I get the dude? Watch that I didn't. Of course, I was going to lead off with the dude, and he's not even. Hold on. Let me see if I can't find this. But the first guy I got the cosplay on is this dude right about here. It's loading up right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that really? Yeah. The dude's dressed like the Polar Express. I was like, oh my God, you got to, right?
He does. He looks like the ticket please guy.
yeah, he's the ticket taker. And I don't have it with me, but he was handing out Believe stickers. Oh, that's awesome. That is a great touch to your
dedication to the bit there.
Yeah, really. And I love that kind of thing. That I just thought that was just a joy and entertaining. What magic are you watching there live? He looks like my uncle with a conductor outfit. Okay. I always wanted to go. I either want to go as like Green Hornet, the Seth Rogen version, because obviously I've got the Seth Rogen body. That or the Penguin. I think I would make a good Penguin, you know. So I thought if I ever go,
how's your Burgess Meredith impression there?
I would have to work on it. I'd have to listen to it. But yeah, it's really cool. Sauce Point Press, I see. I don't know what that means. What exactly is your disability, Dalton, if you don't mind me asking? Do you mind?
I do not mind. I have spastic diplegic cerebral palsy.
For the layman.
The difference between diaplegia and quadriplegia is quadriplegia affects all 4 limbs, whereas for me it's mostly my legs.
Your legs. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was pretty good. And we went into Artist Alley, and I said, okay, I know Nerdrotic's there, and I know Rippaverse is here. I'll go down Artist Alley, see if I can't find them at the same time we're shopping for Elizabeth and all that kind of stuff. I did see Rippaverse, but it was some woman, a Saska, whatever, Saska twins or something like that. Didn't know who they were. Nobody was really minding the store when I got there, so I just walked away. It did not look interesting to me. And I'm not saying that, I mean, you guys know I've talked about Rippa and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't any of that. I was actually going because I was hoping to be able to buy one of the comics so I could legitimately read and review it. But I saw Jim Shooter again. Awesome dude. A lot of fun. And then I was really paying attention to 1, who was there, and 2, who had a line, who was not, would be willing just to shoot the shit with you. By the way, met Mitch Gerard, Tom King's artist. He makes Tom King look beautiful. You know, you might not like his writing, but Mitch Gerard makes his books beautiful. And I even asked him, I said, so is that, he goes, well, multiple, sometimes more than just one artist. Well, you know, it'll be me and somebody else. And I said, okay, so the most beautiful thing I've seen in a book with you is I didn't say this part, but one of the most beautiful things I've seen him do was one of the worst books, Heroes in Crisis. There's a scene where it's just, I forget who the character is, but they're standing in a field of flowers. And I thought that was gorgeous. It's just, give credit where credit is due. Bad book can have good art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jim Shooter's alive and kicking. He's doing pretty well. And yes, we kept taking pictures. I'm going to show them off sporadically and such. My daughter would take a picture and I'd be like, okay, who's that? I have no freaking clue who this is, by the way. But if she took a picture, I was like, okay. And it looks like they put $1 or $2 into their costumes and such. I hate Deadpool costumes. Hate them. I don't like those. Also, you can buy store-bought. Like I saw a whole bunch of women in these kind of silken looking Captain Marvel and such. Doesn't impress me. Lame. I want somebody who looks unique.
Put in the effort. Yeah.
Polar Express, that's unique. So we're walking down Artist Alley, and I get to one that says Mike Grell. I was like, wait, Mike Grell's here? And all I see is an old man sitting there. He's like, and he looks all frazzled and frustrated. I'm like, I don't know. And I start kind of shaking because I'm like, wait, is that Mike Grell? Is that Mike Grell? You know, I'm actually getting I'm actually getting starstruck. I kid you not. I don't get starstruck, but I actually go to Elizabeth, ask that old man if he's Mike Grell. Because sometimes when it's only one person at a booth, it might be the assistant. Yeah. So, you know, I hear he gets on the phone and he goes, yeah, Mike. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's Mike Grell. And there's another guy. That's Mike Grell. Okay. Yeah. And we're talking about it. I didn't bring anything to sign or anything like that. So I went and there was a guy running a dollar booth and I picked this up to get signed. And then I saw when I was like, Elizabeth, we got to go back so I could get this signed. And she was like, okay. So we go back to Mike Grell's booth. And I told him, I said, look, I've never paid for an autograph in my life, but dude, I said, I got to get a Mike Grell autograph and such. And then I saw his thing and he says, and it said, you can get a black and white print for the same price as just signing a comic book. And since the book I bought was Warlord 64, I mean, if it was issue #1 or if it was the first appearance, maybe. So now I'm going to full screen myself here, if you don't mind. So I bought this print instead and had it autographed. And I thought, are you kidding me? Batman and Green Arrow. It was 24 black and white.
That's cool. Yeah.
This is freaking awesome. This is on the wall, baby. I'm telling you, man. I was like, woo.
Yeah. I don't blame you. It'd be going on my wall too.
Okay. So let me tell you something. And this is something I thought was kind of funny. Mike Grell is a man's man. He is. Now, granted, he's a 70-year-old man's man, but he is a man's man. Do you know how I know? I shook his hand, and he freaking damn near crushed it. I was like, God damn, dude, right on. I mean, all right, that's awesome, man. But it was really cool. When he shook my hand, he was actually first it was. And that's one of the things when you were younger in the 70s and such, even older men like this, your dad, your uncles and so forth would tell you a firm handshake. And he was, I was like, that was awesome. But he was a great guy. I talked to him. I told him, one, I've never bought an autograph from anybody. Like if I've gotten some signed, it was just signed. I don't pay for it. And he goes, really? And he was really, he was appreciative of that. And I told him, I said, look, you are one of the reasons I'm into comics. And that's the truth. When I was younger, Legion of Superheroes is one of the books I'd glommed onto right away. And it was during the Mike Grell years. The Mike Grell years are the ones where the costumes got really skimpy. Yeah. And I said, and after that, you got Green Arrow, and I said, and I have a friend who is the biggest John Sable fan. You'll mean, of course, talking about Eric and such. And I said, we're constantly talking about how awesome your art is. And, I've got the Green Arrow stuff that I was selling at an auction. And we had a conversation. I told him I had a YouTube channel. And while he's signing the stuff, I asked, I said, so what was your inspiration? What got you into comics? And he told me the story, and I'm listening to him, and it's awesome because this is a guy who's been around the business since the 60s.
Piece of history. Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden I realized, you know, and I told him I'm a comic book historian. I love the history of comics. And I said, right now, and this is true, I am reading the autobiography of Joe Simon. You know, I love that kind of stuff. And he's telling me this story, and I'm like, my daughter's, Dad, can we go? Dad, can we? She really wasn't. She was patient. But
like, I really don't want to do this right now.
Yeah, but she's behind me, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm so sorry, Elizabeth, because I love this stuff.
Let me have my moment, though.
Yeah. And so it occurs to me. I said, wait a second. I said, look, I've got a YouTube channel. It's not huge. But would you mind coming onto the YouTube channel and talking about the history of comics and all that kind of stuff? And he said yes. So he gave me his email and his contact information.
Well, that's your day done.
I was like, holy crap. Yeah, I was going to keep this a secret for Breen. Maybe he won't know the day. I'll just have to tell Eric, you got to get your ass on this show, you know. But I couldn't freaking believe Mike Grell has agreed to come on and be on the show. Yeah, actually, Dark Admiral, before I bought the print, I actually bought this book from a dollar bin in order to get it signed. I thought, okay, this is actually a good cover. I guess I've got that picture.
Yeah, you've got the picture going. You can't do both.
But yeah, you can see his autograph right there. And it is also on my print, you know, of Batman and Green Arrow. I do not know. He says for Aaron. I told him personalize it. And I can't read those two words. He goes, he says, what's your name? And I said, it's Aaron. And he says, Darren? And I said, no, Aaron, like in the Bible, you know, Moses' brother, the one that created the golden calf, the deceiver. And I was like, thanks, Mom. And he goes, no. Whoa. And he goes, no. Hank Aaron. And I was like, there you go. Yes. And so when it comes time to sign the thing, he goes, I was almost going to write Hank. And I said, hey, if you put it in parentheses, you know, we got something. So yeah. Warlord was the first DC book I read on the reg when I was a kid, says Dark Admiral. Hey, just joined. Who is this now? That's Bill Finger's dead, dude, unfortunately. Oh shit, Eric, what's up? Come on in, dude. Seriously, join the conversation. I'm excited as hell, and I have some awesome freaking books to show off. I mean, these are, and you guys will not fucking believe what I found and for how much I found it, which normally I don't like to give prices because I kind of feel guilty if, oh, I bought this for $1, but it's worth 45, you know. But that, what I found, I fucking cannot believe what I found. And I was actually talking about, we did a live stream yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday. It was the unboxing where I jokingly said, I found these books in a dollar bin because I'm seeing this all over the place where it's like, you won't believe what I found in the dollar bin. And it's got a picture of Amazing Fantasy 15. Yeah, I don't fucking believe it. I'm sorry, I don't. Holy shit. I don't know how much this thing is actually worth, but I don't know if I want to sell it because I can find $200, $300, $400, $8,000 before I find another one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I've got some good books to show today, guys. But yeah, we walked around. We took some pictures of some cosplayers and such, because I'm looking for the cheap booths. I'm looking for the booths where I can find, basically I need to find books that if I put them in the auction, I don't have to charge $40 for. Big problem. The last booth I showed up to, they have these buy one get one. So okay, that's cool. That means two $20 books. They cost $10 each. Boom, I can charge $20. Fine, make a profit. Turns out, two of the $20 books that I found, one was Solar Man of the Atom from Valiant. Now, I may not be able to sell it this week, but I know I would be able to sell it next week to Jay because he's been looking for Valiant. 2,
Yeah.
Eric, I freaking kid you not, was Herbie #1.
Really?
And it got left behind. So I've got to call them up, say I bought that. It was left on your counter. I did not receive these books. Can I pick them up? And then I'm hoping that they're honest about it. Herbie #1, man. I was just looking through the books and I realized, oh shit, where's the Herbie? Where's the soul? Oh man. And then I just see it. It's off in the peripheral. See, I'll get to that particular story as I'm showing off and talking and so forth.
I've done that.
Yeah, where you leave.
I got him back, so that's it does happen.
You see the awesome Mike Grell?
Yeah, I was watching, and
yeah,
I did. You were talking about meeting Mitch Gerard, and you mentioned Heroes in Crisis, but I'm pretty sure that was Clayman.
Was it Clayman?
Yeah, so it's probably a good thing you didn't say anything.
Okay, well, I did, but he was like, "Oh no, I don't remember that." He actually was like, "I'm not going to say anything." This guy is talking about Clayman. Also, with that, with the Warlord, it was at a dollar booth, and sometimes, look, you find books that is worth more than $1. That you could probably put $2, maybe $3 on it, especially if it is a Superman Batman #10 with Jeff Loeb, and it's got a Michael Turner Wonder Woman on it. That's cool. So, anywho, it was such a great day. And, you know, of course, one of the things that my daughter complained about talking about the Mike Grell thing is I literally sat there with him for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Well,
just
why
chatting.
wouldn't you? It's Mike Grell, for God's sake.
Yeah. It was really cool.
That's cool that he said he'd come on.
Yeah. And it also opened it up. I don't feel so weird about asking, you know. It kind of went, well, if, you know, if Mike Grell accepted, then it would be dumb for anybody else not to.
Right.
It's one of those things. It reminded me of
now I can ask without feeling greedy and miserable and shit.
One thing I would love to do if I had the money, if I do have the money and I can afford it, is well, if I have the money I can afford it. I have one of those Marvel Monsters books. It's blank pages. And I've always wanted to take it to a convention and get a sketch. And the thing is if you can get a Mike Grell, then somebody else, a Mitch Gerard might go, wow, if Mike did it, let me do, you know, that kind of thing. I would love to do that. I would love to do that kind of thing. But just to have him come on and chat and talk about the history of comics, his experience through comics. By the way, we were talking and Shamans Tears came up, and I was like, you know, that is just about the best of early Image. I stand by that. I love Shamans Tears and is it Wildstar?
Yeah. Jerry Ordway's book.
To me, those are the two best early Image books.
Well, shit, I wish I'd known that 2 days ago before I just dollared out a set of Shamans Tears and took them back to the store. But yeah, since you mentioned me to him, I will hang my original John Sable promo poster behind me.
Yeah,
for shameless plugging.
He by the way, yeah, he loved the fact. He loved that. He was really he took it very well when I told him I've never paid for, and this is true, I've never paid for an autograph before, but I was willing to pay for a Mike Grell, especially if it came on a print. Now I was willing to pay for it on issue number 56 of Warlord, which may be a great book, but it's not exactly burning up the back issue bin.
No,
so,
it's
yeah. Speaking of things,
somebody remembers it, but that somebody is rare.
I've been binging his Green Arrow this week, and I mean, I know, you know, we talk about it at the auctions, and yeah, I would go by memory and say, yeah, I really loved it. I'd forgotten how freaking good that is.
Yeah, well, like you know it emotionally because you read it, but when you read it, it's like, holy.
I've read 50, 60,000 comics. I mean, I can't remember particulars, and I won't remember the Green Arrow a month from now.
Yeah.
But it is phenomenal.
When the greats are great, they stay great, kind of thing.
That is true, kids. By all means. It was $20, by the way, for the autograph. I wish I'd spent $30 because after I had already paid for the 20 and everything, he's like, okay, you get a print. And he was pulling out these all of his prints, and they had, and he pulls out Bouncing Boy and Triplicate Girl. And I was like, this is weird because it's Bouncing Boy and he's kind of holding the one leg of each twin of Duo Damsel at this point. Yeah. And I'm like, you've got Legion? And he goes, yeah, that's right. You like Legion. So he starts pulling out. And it's all these couples. You got Mon-El and Shadowlass, which looked awesome. And he told me the story. He says that somebody commissioned a Legion, and he thought they wanted kind of a couple thing, a romantic thing. And he thought, well, what he found to be graceful and everything was figure skating. So he always had one character with their feet on the ground, the other one in the air, because that's love, is what he explained. And he goes, and it all started with a Wildfire and Dawnstar. And he pulls out this thing. I am telling you, it is museum freaking quality. This picture that he drew was so freaking awesome. If I go back on Sunday, I'm getting it. It's just that gorgeous. But for God, love of God, don't ask Mike Grell who is taking over for him after he dies. I will not, by the way, ask that. I have learned my lesson. Gerard worked on Mr. Miracle. That's kind of funny because the first thing I did was, that is a gorgeous Big Barda. That's actually what started. And I realized, okay, I'm talking to Mitch Gerard. Okay, that's really cool. He was really nice, really nice. March Hare, Herbie the Fat Freak, not the Beetle. Yeah, unfortunately, God, I got to call him early. Tell him, hey, look, I left that book behind. I'll be there on Sunday, whom don't know that one. Let's see. I admire the Longbow Hunters because of the variety of art styles in that book. Pen and ink mixed with colored pencils, sketches. Mike Grell makes it work. Dark Admiral saying, I swear I bought a Grell portfolio. I'll have to check. My LCS got a few, and I know I bought the rights, and hell yeah, that would be awesome. Maybe the next Geeky Pup show should be a Mike Grell book. Would you be against that?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, so what Mike Grell book would Eric Breen want to read through on a Geeky Puppet show?
Well, it can't be a Green Arrow because it would take 3 minutes because it's so visual. There's not a lot of dialogue. So I'm not sure what kind of, it'd probably have to be a Legion book. You'd probably have to go back to when comics were a little more wordy.
Well,
yeah, I mean, because even the Sable, there can be several pages with no dialogue or exposition, or no caption boxes.
Is who did Manhunter?
That was Walt Simonson.
Walt Simonson. Who was the writer?
Archie Goodwin.
Archie Goodwin. Okay, I was about to say I remember that one, but that's not Mike Grell. You could do the original Green Arrow miniseries. Wasn't that was Grell?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't? God, I suck at this game.
No, I think his first Green Arrow was Longbow Hunters.
Oh wow.
Because the 4-issue miniseries was 83, and I do not remember who wrote that.
Hey, you could do series, but you could always do Warlord. He went silent. I don't think you can do Warlord.
No. I'm trying to remember if Warlord had the same. Yeah, because again, there were a lot of silent panels in Warlord also.
Yeah, it's descriptive. Now Elizabeth would stop people because there were some anime or manga characters. I thought these guys looked cool. Anytime that she took a picture, I took a picture. So we got them. I already showed you one. I was more, I don't even know who this is, but okay. If you guys know the manga or anime that these characters are from, by all means, please let me know. But she did stop one person. I was surprised because it's comic book, and that's this Ghost Rider. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is a good Ghost Rider right there, man.
Mm-hmm. And see, this is what bothers me whenever there are lackluster adaptations, because it's like, if a cosplayer with nothing but passion and time managed to do a good version of this character's costume, why can you, with your Hollywood budget, not do a good version of this character's costume?
That's true. I was looking away to frame this better, but I didn't think I would be blocking you out there, Dalton. Sorry. I would stop people a little bit more. Hey, I recognize that guy, so I got a Teen Wolf. Like I said, I don't like doing, oh, look, it's Deadpool again. So
because everybody does Deadpool.
Yeah, everybody. It's kind of boring. It's boring.
I get that way. When I go to conventions. I keep my eye out for characters that are, my characters. Like every so often I'll see somebody walking in a Dr. Fate costume and it'll be like, yes, this person gets it. But that doesn't happen very often.
He knows me.
It's like it's like this guy gets it.
Oh, and this was the second person we found was Yzma. I thought that was brilliant.
Secret lab.
Let us in and we'll kill. Let us out and we'll kill you. I think you mean or Yzma.
We'll burn the house to
let's see who else do I
have.
have
A wider angle lens. We could have seen a hot blonde with some cleavage.
Oh, yeah, that's fake blonde and not much cleavage. But
okay, yes. I thought you were gonna say that was Elizabeth. I was gonna say, oh shit.
No. I am a bit of a conservative father here. My daughter would not be going out in that dress. Definitely not
that she'd probably be inclined to, given the introversion, but there's that.
I did dig this guy's turtle outfit. I was looking at it, reminded me of the 90s movies and made me think, wow, this guy's cosplay costume is better than the Michael Bay turtles.
That's because it is the 90s costume.
It is.
Yeah.
It just looks awesome. So I was like, okay, let's see. I don't take a lot of cosplay because a lot of them are very much like right next to him is Deadpool. It's the same freaking thing.
The obvious ones, yeah.
So
the 1000th Batman, the 500th Superman today, etc., and so on.
I did see Peacemaker and Vigilante, and that kid looks like Vigilante.
Looks like you when you're 16.
Okay. I only have one left, but I gotta tell you that I like the people who are original, and this was my favorite cosplay. Right.
No.
It's Granny from Looney Tunes.
Yes,
yeah.
She's got Tweety Bird, the whole crew. So I was like, okay, that's good stuff there. That's good stuff.
Before I looked down, I thought, is that Mrs. Doubtfire or Butterworth?
Well, the funny part is that Gail is the real Granny. She has her own Tweety Bird, which we hear in the background.
Pull the lever. Wrong lever. What is that for? Oh, what is
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, that's right. Pull the lever.
Wrong lever. Why do we even have that other lever?
Oh yeah, and all the Harley Quinns. I didn't see Harley Quinn today. There was not one Harley. There was not a lot of cosplayers. A lot of them were, in my opinion, random manga character. It's just, let's put on a sailor suit or something.
Well, because that is the current wave of geekdom for the most part.
Well, wait till Saturday. Saturdays at the shows are just overrun.
I already heard there's a fight at the Central Comic Con this week.
I didn't hear anything about it. Now,
two nerds fighting.
Excuse me. I know Saturday is usually, in my opinion, a little bit too busy. Like it's so busy, it's unenjoyable.
It's usually our worst day, which is odd considering it's the most crowded, but it's also that's the show and tell day of the show. Yeah,
they got the costume contest. They've got the celebrity meet and greets and all that kind of stuff, pulling focus. Baby Looney Tunes is a nice touch. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. There was a fight. I've seen the video, says Dark Admiral. Yeah, I heard nothing of it. I mean, I'm not denying it or anything.
There was a video, but you couldn't see the fight. You see some guy, don't do it, and that's it. That was more like 15 seconds.
I didn't see any of the Geeks and Gamer crew anywhere. I didn't see a booth that said Geeks and Gamers, so I don't know if they're just going to do panels or something like that on Saturday, Sunday.
I hope they have a license for that.
Oh, and by the way, if you go back and you go back to the Ripper table and it's the Saska sisters again, just tell them you loved Dead Hooker in a Trunk. They will love you.
Okay. Well,
that was their first project. They did an indie movie called Dead Hooker in a Trunk.
Alrighty.
I've actually seen it.
Is it good?
Based on my live experience.
It was entertaining.
Okay. If it is a 4-day convention and people stay over for it, guaranteed they'll start doing some neat costumes Friday. Best day will be Saturday. Yeah, well, tomorrow, of course, is the auction. And I have no money. Oh, yeah, by the way. So here's a thing that happened. I went about, yeah, I know. This is the bad thing. This is a little, it's not as bad as me leaving behind Herbie number 1 and Solar Man of the Atom. But so I go about the day and I'm buying comics. I find a booth that's I find 2 booths really that are selling cheap books, and then I find another one. Okay. And then I get to the one I'm looking for. It's a buy one, get one free. It's the last one of the night, the one where I left the Herbie and the Solar. And I give them my card. First I ask Elizabeth, hey, here's a whole bunch of books. Can you go get these bought for us, please? And that way, if they close down while I'm looking, at least I got something for the auction. That was my thinking. And so she does, and then I go up there with the rest of the books, and I give her all the lower price books, and I go up with the more expensive ones. Now I know how much money I got in there because I've been doing the math, and I'm smart. And so I give him the card. He rings it up at $60. Okay, sure, fine, all right, we're good, because I know I've got it. I've done the math. And he goes, wow, I've never seen this before. I went, uh-oh. And I said, what does it say? It says, well, it stopped payment at $47. And then the dude next to me says, well, it means that he didn't have enough on the card. And I was like, no, that shouldn't be it. Or I've done the math.
He froze it. Hank froze it.
I was actually thinking that because I was spending here, spending there, soon, you know. So I'm figuring I need, I kid you not, $50 for shipping. So I've got up until I've got $50 left to spend, which means I'll stop when I have 60 just to have that little cushion.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot 4 booths worth of books. I forgot I stopped at 4 booths. You know, I did not take my medicine with me. I did not take it. So I'm doing the math. I go, okay, I stopped. I got the grill. First of all, we went to lunch. Okay, that was 25. And then I went and I got the grill post. That was 20. So I'm doing the math. And I know all told it should be about $200. That's, you know, and I usually when I'm buying collections and such, I keep it around 150 to 200. And I go through the math and I'm doing the math. I'm saying it works. Why? And then I think just the same as RDV. I said, God damn it. The fucking bank froze it. And then Elizabeth goes, what about the books you bought from those girls?
Yep. There it is.
I went, oh shit. I forgot $40 worth of sales worth of comics I bought. And she goes, did you count the independent comics?
Upside your head.
Yeah. So I spent down to -$5. I was, and I still didn't get everything because I don't have Herbie or Solar. So there you go. This is the use. Yeah, that's what I said. I said, well, you know what's going to happen next year when we go to the convention, I'm cashing out. Because you can't, you watch it dwindle, so you don't have. Yeah. Comment and a view for the aggro. Hey, Spiffy, how you doing, man? let's see. Drunk 3PO was there. It was his video I saw. Oh, okay. I'll share a link in the comment section when this video is posted. As far as money, we have no money. Let's see. Yeah, you couldn't see his video head, and no one knows what the fight was about.
Was that a train spotting reference, Austin? Well done, if it was.
What, as far as the money, we have no money?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I totally lost track, and there we go. Thankfully, I get home and Darkness is like, oh yeah, I sent you your money. And KRENIZ is like, okay, here's the money. So like, yes, I got shipping again. And I was talking to my mom because I saw she called, and I told her the story, and she goes, so how much you need me to send you? Thank you, mothers. I was like, okay, so we got bailed out. So either tomorrow or Saturday, everybody's book's going to get there. Okay. Let me show off some books here. I did make one mistake as far as buying, because I accidentally bought 2 of DC Special War of Giants. Now some people would say, the mistake was buying any, but I disagree. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I've got DC Comics, DC Special War of the Giants. They just had a few of them, and I was like, okay, sure, let's check this out. Because they also had the Battle with the Gorillas, and then they had the War Against the Monsters, and they have the DC Special presents Captain Comet, Danger, Dinosaurs at Large. So
that's an all new story.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool. I do believe this is a TV show. This is issue number 4 of a book based on a 1960s, I believe it's a TV show called The Rat Patrol. There you go.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I told you I've got some cool books here, Eric. And remember,
and you've got 13 minutes to show them, because I have to get up in the morning.
All righty. Well, I'll do my best. But you also remember that I go from what I think is less cool to most cool. Here we have Detective Comics number 456.
That was one of the first 6 new books I ever bought in my life.
That is an amazingly pretty cover there.
And issue number 500 of Detective Comics.
Nice.
And slow.
You know, the next issue of Detective Comics was the first Leslie Tompkins.
Oh.
It's also a $200 book now.
Well, this is not that book. This is issue number 463 of Detective Comics.
The Sacco Slugfest of 76.
By the way, it also has the Atom in it. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 491, because Batgirl's on the cover. If there is a... Say again?
It has who in it, Eric?
I said it had the Atom. That was me.
Adam!
And next up, Clayface is back. I've seen this one going for
479. Oh, 478. Damn it.
478. Yeah, the one where he's holding up. Yeah, I want that one too. Okay. Yeah. It's not the Justice Society of America, guys. No matter, I mean, you could say it is, but really it's All-Star Super Squad.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is issue number 64. And then All-Star Comics, they said, you know what? It's not the Super Squad. It's the goddamn Justice Society. This is issue number 67. Stop it with that Super Squad shit. Then they said, okay, sure. This is issue number 71.
Joe Staten cover.
And we have issue number 7. I honestly don't know. It got cut off.
Probably 72 or 3.
Probably.
Well, after you want to, because it ended on 74, and I know what that one looks like.
There's 2 DC special books. 2 DC. Let me actually put it in the camera. There's 2 DC special books that I've always wanted, even if it is just in transit as I'm selling them. And this is absolutely one of them. It is DC Special number 1. And it's an all Infantino issue. And I love these covers.
That is great.
Yeah. There we go. Star comics are popular. These are Marvel comics that are based on Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s. This one has taken off. So when I was able to find it for what I found it for, I definitely picked it up. This is issue number 1 of Defenders of the Earth. I've noticed on the eBays and such that that's been picking up. Alrighty. I was
talking about the coloring, Austin. The colors really popped well.
Which one? It was not Dalton,
Austin is joking at me because I said the cover was pretty.
It was not Dalton. I'm sorry. Let's see. We've got these are Zack Books. Yeah, those Justice Societies. Careful, Dalton saying that's a pretty cover for that particular comic may put the preferences in suspect. By the way, I do have to say thank you very much to Eric Breen for giving me the gift of an issue number 1 of Captain Marvel. We all know Captain Marvel is an amazing character and beloved by all. So as we all love Captain Marvel, I do search out, and any time I will find his, not hers, but his books, I will pick them up. And this is, it doesn't have a number. It just says November 1966. Boom.
Aha.
Yes. Oh, by the way, it's also got him. But there you go. Yes, a lot of people
I thought
don't know.
it was going to be yet another Billy Batson twist, but okay.
No. This is the split Captain Marvel. This is badass. All righty. I have no idea what this is. I saw it. It looked awesome. So I picked it up. It's got a little trouble on the cover, as much of these huge books do. This is called Giant Action Issue, Battle Heroes. Once again, I can't find a number, but here you go. Have you ever seen this, Eric?
I think I have. I think so, but I couldn't tell you the company. With just by looking at it.
Doesn't say on the. It doesn't say on the book. Next up, I put these kind of in order. I should have this one lower, like further down, because
that
it is
number 1.
That's number 1. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
this is issue number 88. Is a 10-cent Superboy.
It's currently going for $15 on eBay.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, that's a neat cover.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever seen that one.
there you go. I did. Superboy's a bit of a risk, I admit, but if you see some good covers, and especially if you can get a good 12 center cheap, I think that almost about anything. If you can get a good 12 or 10 center cheap, do it. This is Superboy issue number 153.
Great Caesar's Ghosts.
There you go.
It's the Blob.
And then they had, I got Superboy issue number 181. I just thought the cover was cool, so.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Jonathan hanging himself cool, but that's still pretty cool.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that a new issue?
No, this is issue number 181.
No,
Which,
I
by
know,
the way, do you have the first appearance of King Shark? I know you were putting together 90s
Yep.
Superboy. You do?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. Issue number 359 of Action Comics, where Superman is on the stands getting chewed out by a little girl.
She killed her dad. He killed her dad. I mean, shoot. Look at the judge.
I don't know.
Judge Biden.
Her dad's name is Franklin. He killed him.
Yeah.
You'd be right to let him live.
All right, LK, are you anywhere near? Are you around?
He's sleeping probably.
I know. Haven't seen him in a
Regular
month of
will be in
Sundays.
minutes.
Hope he's okay. But this one, I literally, when I saw it, I thought, I'll sell it to LK. Or anybody who wants to fight him for it. This is FemForce in the House of Horror. And this is issue number 1.
Dalton's house is here.
There you go.
Couldn't resist.
Hey, good evening.
I
Homnix.
wish I
What's
lived
up?
in one of those big old Gothic mansion things, even though I could never ever get up the stairs of one.
Yeah.
I'd
Oh,
have to
by the way,
install a ramp.
sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting there. Austin
No, go
saying,
ahead.
who knows, maybe I'll win on the wheel again for not being there. He was, I sent him the message that he won and he chose the death
With one entry, too.
with one entry. But it was kind of funny because he was like, the one time I don't show up. All right, next up, I was in the Superboy section, and why not go on over to Adventure Comics and continue? We've got Adventure 345.
Yeah, get rid of Man Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad. They did. They made him go insane because he ate the Miracle Machine. But that's not the only character they ever killed. As a matter of fact, there used to be a character called Triplicate Girl, and a villain named Computo ended up killing one of her triplets. So she became Duo Damsel.
Duplicates.
Yeah, and Duplicate. Thank you.
Duplicate.
And,
What?
that's what this is. Adventure Comics 340, the death of one of the triplicates. There you go. And with
can't she
death,
just make another
there also comes arrivals, and in this case, we have the very first appearance of Shadow Lass.
Fatal 5.
There you go. I don't know what printing this is. I'm gonna find out, but I was like, holy shit, that is really, really cool. I haven't had one of these. I don't think I've had one of these in the auction for a long time, if I've had it at all. The greatest Batman movie ever, a lot of people say, and this is the comic book adaptation. Sorry, I tried to take off the price tag. It didn't, but this is Mask of the Phantasm.
Ooh. Been looking for that.
That is correct, actually.
The
Zero
greatest
cents.
Batman movie ever made.
There's some stiff competition in them there hills, but Mask of the Phantasm probably still takes it.
So what is that, like a $20 book?
I will be finding out. I am definitely going to be going over a lot of stuff after I do this here.
I would be shocked if it's not $20 on eBay.
I will be
Please.
shocked as well. But I know how much I paid for it, so I know what the minimum I'm going to ask for.
Which is $5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a reprint because the first time I remember that being reprinted or the comic book coming out, it came out with a DVD and it was about this big. Like that,
Yeah.
The book that's that big, that's the first print of Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Okay. I got to admit, when I was a kid, I never read an issue of this guy's comics, but Strange Adventures, awesome. Issue number 217 with one of the greatest comic book covers of all time. That is just badass, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, I actually, we did the we did the ranking things, right? With the tier list. I would love for you to go just pick and this could be any time, we could do multiples of it, but pick 5 of the best Silver Age covers. Seriously, what do you think are the 5 best Silver Age covers? And let's do a tier list on that. Let the chat vote and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and this one, as soon as I saw the cover and I know how much I was paying for it, I was like, holy fucking donkey, I'm getting that just because I love King Comics. And this is the Phantom.
Tom King Comics? I don't really like that.
Yeah, I love that freaking cover, man. Look at that. That's issue number 222 of the Phantom. All righty. Unfortunately, the staple is loose. I did not read the note they put here but I was like, okay, nah, that's fine. I'm good with it. It's still a great, you don't know that. Look at this. Otherwise, look at that.
Yeah, it's not noticeable, if anything.
It is really good. Okay. history lesson for those of you who don't know. The Platinum Age was very much trial and error for comic books. Now, everybody knows the history. Okay, they reprinted a whole bunch of newsstand and they folded it up. They put it in newspapers, and that's how the modern comic was born. But really, it was a whole bunch of trial and error. Like, oh, hey, we got a comic book called The Brownies. Let's put it in a book that basically would resemble this. Or you would get Mutt and Jeff, which would come basically in a book that looked like this. So they really were trying
experimentation.
They really were trying to find out what we're going to be putting this new format in. And ultimately, as I said, you would find a whole bunch of giveaways in newspapers. Okay. And then ultimately they ended up in shops. They're their own thing with New Fun Comics and such, the very first original comic book. So I'm looking through, and I'm going to tell you how much I don't like to say how much I paid for books because, you only paid $5. No, it doesn't matter what I paid. So I'm looking through this box of books and I see this and I'm like, holy shit, this says Chicago Tribune. And I'm like, holy fuck, now there's a chance that this is a reprint because they re-released the movie. They made a new movie anyway in 1980. So I said, can you please open this for me? And I handed him this. And I looked inside. And sure enough, it says 1935. This is one of those books that were pasted together and then shoved into an old newspaper. 1930. Okay, you know what? I was impressed, motherfuckers.
If it were one of the early appearances of Dr. Occult, then you would be getting a reaction from me, but not
Orphan Annie was fucking huge back in the day. We weren't so blinded as we were because of the comic book code.
There was a reason why she's an orphan, because nobody wanted her.
But yeah, holy shit. Okay, let me put it to you this way for those of you who might not appreciate it. 1935 is before Superman. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
It's also the first year for Dr. Occult as well.
Yeah, but
that's why I made the reference.
Yeah, holy crap. And the condition this fucker is in, it is amazing to me. I mean, look at this, seriously.
Yeah, it's in tremendously good condition. There are novels that covers don't age that well, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have a spot by your knee, but tell me that isn't awesome. Maybe Milka, like I said, maybe because I'm a bit of more of a historian. I think it's
it does look good. It's just it's not quite as wowful as it was for you, I guess.
I mean, the fact that it's a 1930s comic and it's still in good condition, that's great. But the subject matter, I could care less about.
Okay, well, obviously,
I have a little bit of nostalgia for Little Orphan Annie because of all the movie adaptations and, of course, the references in things like Christmas Story and so on.
You guys,
about where my nostalgia ends for that character.
I can't freaking believe that. I can't believe. I mean, this is freaking comic book history here. Let me ask you a question. How many times, and Eric, you work at a comic book shop. How many times does a 1935 anything in this kind of condition come through your store? How many times have you seen these newspaper inserts come through your door?
The closest I've come to that was about a year ago. A box I was going through had it was from 1937, and it had the medal that you got for joining the Little Orphan Annie fan club.
Nice.
The decoder pin?
Yeah.
No, it was a piece of metal. It wasn't that, I don't think, but I've got it around here somewhere. Hang on a second. I may have stashed it in this nonsense next to your toilet paper. Hang on a second.
Which that sentence doesn't make sense to anyone in the audience, but it makes perfect sense to us because we know about the thing.
You know what? I made a video. I'm gonna post it tomorrow on I Love Comics. Might as well.
Toilet paper?
Yeah, the toilet paper comic.
Ah,
I made a video about it.
that's shitty.
How'd that survive? I know, right? It's got one blemish right at the knee.
Like you.
Yes. Okay, let me highlight. See?
I think that comic is in a little bit better shape than
Why don't you have a secret society? That sounds very ominous.
because
very
she's
ominous
involved in espionage things.
See, that is awesome. And how many of those, like I said, how many of those go through your door?
One.
Exactly. That's why I am impressed with this one. That's why I'm impressed with that, because
That's very cool. I mean, it really is.
So I was talking about, of course, I was called my mom because I saw she had called, and we were talking, and I told her, I said, "Holy shit! I found a 1935 Little Orphan Annie comic that was put into newspapers. This is rare as fuck." I didn't say that because it's my mom, but she goes, "Wow, how much money are you going to get for it?" I said, "Mom, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to sell it because I can find $200, $300, $400, $800 before I will find $1,000 before I will find another one of these." So I told her I don't know, if I'll sell it or not. But yeah. You asked what issue that Captain Marvel comic is. That Captain Marvel you have is issue number 4 of the 4 issues. Okay, cool. I've got the first and last. There you go. But yeah, sorry if you guys weren't as impressed, but this just blew my freaking mind. Because you can name yourself a rare comic, but come on, that ain't that rare.
Nothing that's created to be a collectible is nearly as collectible as things that were never meant to be collectible.
There you go.
Right.
Sounded smart. Hey, Dominic, what's up?
I'm doing fine. I'm just doing some pet sitting for the family.
Oh, that's nice of you. Oh, by the way, I don't think I need to mention it, but every book I've shown, except for maybe the Little Orphan Annie, will be in the auction tomorrow. I may put that in. Yeah. Say again.
Are you sure you want to sell them? I mean, those are good finds.
Well, I bought everything to sell, except for that Little Orphan Annie. I just bought it because holy shit. And I'm not quite sure if I want to sell that one, but all of the others were specifically bought for the auction. And considering I screwed up and I wiped myself clean, I need the money.
Look at what Maranya just posted.
Wait, check that back cover of it might be the cereal promo instead of in the newspaper. Insert variety, even rare if the cereal, if it's the cereal book. Okay.
Well,
it did say Pop Wheat on the back.
I did not see that part.
Well, it's better than that Corn Pop. He's a bad dude.
Hey, kids, get a free comic each week with a giant-sized comic book Popped Wheat.
Oh, wow.
So it is the more rare cereal. That just makes me go, woo! All righty, holy shit. What was your source for that, Maranya, if you don't mind my asking? I'll look it up, and it's probably worth $5 or $6.
Maranya's like, I got the cereal.
I've seen that happen so many times where it'd be like, holy shit, I found this golden age this a book, and it's like, oh wow, let me check it out. It's worth $15. Oh. Yeah,
probably the rarest book I have just as a book is the Amy Grant cover of Doctor Strange, the one that Marvel had to settle out of court for.
No way.
Oh, I'll be right back.
I saw it in the local collectors and game shop that we have, which is the closest thing we have to a comic book store. And me, of course, knowing the history, was just like, yes, this is $12, but it is worth paying it because I know all the history behind it. So give me.
Oh, my legs.
Go off.
Oh, old man. All right. These were books I showed off the other day, but I'll show them off again. This is the King Comics. These are going to be on sale. Here we go. This is 1944. Now, the cover's a little bit loose, but it's not detached. Yeah, and that's got a little problem on the corner there. But this is 1944. It's got like Popeye and other stories as well. This one has the Phantom and Buck Rogers in it, and this is Nancy and Sluggo. It's Sparkler Comics number 49. This is 1945, and this is in excellent condition. I was very happy with the way
this
this
is a nice condition.
Yeah, so these will be on the auction. Not as impressive, but still pretty cool is the Huey, Dewey, Louie Back to School. So please, by all means, stop by tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we're going to have some cool stuff.
But I will say, like, when you mentioned the platinum age of comic books, out of all of the historical ages, that one is hardly ever been discussed by anybody really.
Yeah, well, I was going to do a video about it, as a matter of fact, and never did. By the way, when I say I was going to do a video, if you guys remember when I first started the channel, I did a history of comics, and I did the Golden Age, and I did I did some of the Golden Age. I did the Victorian Age, and I talked about that, which led into Hogan's Alley with the yellow kid and all that kind of stuff. And then I was going to do the Platinum Age.
Even preceded the Platinum Age.
Yeah.
Okay, I did a little research there. Apparently, they did this again with the same cover in 38 and in 1947.
Okay.
Someone has the 38 one on eBay for 20.
Yeah, I told you, it always works out.
Yeah, it also, I guess, part of it, since I don't think it's a full comic, right?
It is very thin, yes.
Yeah, at least that story, because that's also the cover of Dell 4 Color 76 and that was 1940.
But this is 1935.
Right. Listen, I'm just saying that cover was used again in 38, 47, and on Dell 4 Color issue 76.
Yeah,
so it's like the stock image, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, they just reprint. Yeah. You did the history of Old Buck. Yep, I did. That was one. But then I did. I know what it was. It was the Platinum Age, but it was I specifically did Out Cult, and my brother did. What's the other guy's name? He did the Nemo.
Yes,
the Adventures of Slumberland. Yeah. So that was how we originally covered, but I wanted to go through and talk about the formats and all that kind of stuff and all the books that came out. Little Orphan Annie predates Superman. Phantom, of course, we all know because he's the first costume crime fighter. Mickey Mouse was a comic book before Superman. You know, and to talk about all those kind of things. People who are old like me, we know Buster Brown, who was a comic book character before he was a shoe mascot. So I wanted
shoes
to talk,
ever bought.
Yeah, Prince Valiant was huge for a while.
Oh yeah, he really was.
So,
there are a couple people that I do streams with. One guy named Metarog, who's a collector of promotional comics. You would enjoy talking to him because I said Buster Brown, like Adventures of Big Boy, like he probably has that Little Orphan Annie. And there's another guy, Black Box, Silver and Bronze Age or something like that. He's going to be on our show 2 weeks from today because apparently Valentine's Day falls on a Wednesday, so we're pushing it back a day. He also is an aficionado of promotional comics, and I never. By the time I got interested in them, they were too far gone. But I'm fascinated by those because the front of the price guide, actually the first section is promotional comics.
That's kind of cool. But I mean, just isn't that awesome though? The finding a book like that, and I paid $5 for it.
Wow, that's quite a steal.
That's what
That's
I paid
that
$5.
is a steal, yeah.
I showed it to them to make sure that, okay, is this supposed to be in
Are
here?
you absolutely sure you want to give this
And
to me
I said,
for next to
can
nothing?
you? I said, can you open this? Because what I was thinking, I mean, you mentioned how the cover was used and used and used. I was thinking in 1980, they made the Eileen Quinn, Albert Finney, Little Orphan Annie.
Mhm.
So while it may look on the outside like it's a 1940s comic,
Could
I
it
was
have been
thinking-
a reprint or
yeah, I was going to open it
promotional or
up and
something?
it would say, 1980, make sure you see the movie and all that kind of stuff. And when I saw 1935, I was like, fuck. I looked around like, okay, because sometimes if it's a reprint, it'll say originally printed in 1935. The new printing is 1980. Go see the movie. So I looked around. I'm like, where's the loophole to this?
So does that one say, go see the movie? It's a talkie.
Yeah. Make sure you listen to the radio play, kids. Drink more Ovaltine. This is how they made cheap books back in the day. Take a large sheet of newsprint, which is usually folded in half one way for a normal newspaper. There you go. But yeah, my day was good right up until I realized I left Solar Man of the Atom and freaking Herbie. I had a Herbie #1 for you, Venkman.
You mean for one sick dude? Because I'll never afford it. Gets him.
Kids, I'm 16 minutes past my drop dead time. So
all righty. Well, thanks for jumping on, man. And
always like to see stuff like that. And
I knew you would. That's why I was like, you got to get on for this one. Dude.
I just happened to glance up and your thing actually popped up, which doesn't always happen. So I'm glad it did. So I would have known.
Stars aligned.
Anyway, kids, have a good rest of the stream.
Have a good one. Take care, man.
Have a good night,
Eric.
Yeah, my first plan was to make a date for Mike Grell's going to be on Monday, so forth, and then I wouldn't tell Eric and invite him on, and I thought, you know what, I would do that, and he would claim there's a basketball game that he had to watch, and the whole surprise would be blown out the window.
You're lucky Mike Grell would pass on before that even happens.
Dude.
Why did you say that, Venkman?
No, I'm just saying that's the kind of luck that he has.
But yeah, I'm very much interested in.
And shout out to Paul Jenkins, who tried to get on this channel 3 years ago, but he ignored him.
I didn't ignore him at all. What are you talking about? I actually sent a message. Come on, I don't know. I didn't ignore anybody. Maybe I'll go ask Jim Shooter next time. Also, hey, come on the channel, man. Let's talk about how comics suck today versus the time when you were running Marvel. It's funny because a lot of people did not like Jim Shooter while he was in control of Marvel. The artists and writers did not like him at all. But god damn, you got to admit that was a tight ass ship he was running.
Yeah, you're gonna miss it. You don't know what you have till it's gone, kind of thing.
The old comic books were always printed in multiples of 4 pages because of folding the sheets. Okay. This is how they made cheap books. Keep folding that large sheet down a couple of times, and voila, the modern size comic book format. A friend of mine. I met a guy. I met a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in like a decade, and he had Mad Magazine #4 or Mad #4. It wasn't Mad Magazine until like 15, 16, 17, around there. Yeah, but it was a good day. It was just a good day. I had a great time with my daughter. Anytime I can have a good daddy-daughter day, I've got a smile on my face. I just need to remember to get up and try to call these people at a freaking convention. I don't even know how to do that. And tell them, hey, I left my books. I want my books on Sunday. Or mail them or something. That's going to be rough. My thinking is I'm out $20.
Did you get like a business card or something with the stuff?
There's a receipt somewhere, but I've got a digital receipt as well. I've been going through the pockets trying to. Okay, I
hope they didn't just sell your books to somebody else after you left.
Yeah, well, It was at the close. That was the last place.
Oh, okay.
But my
Jack. Yeah.
my fear, of course, being that they're going to do that exact thing
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow, they'll just resell them.
That goes.
Yeah. So I might be out some money. I hope not.
Where was your daughter? Didn't she go with you?
Yeah.
Did she know to watch out for you? You're an elderly senior citizen who has.
She was actually watching out for me. I was doubled over in pain. My back was fucking killing me.
Ouch.
Yeah. But otherwise,
she's like, Dad, I got you the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you found an issue of Solar Man of the Atom.
Yeah, it was one of the 2 books that was left behind.
Okay, now, well, the reason I asked that, like, are you referring to the original Dell or the Valiant?
No, it was the Valiant. It was the Valiant.
All right.
Before Jay sent me a message tonight, but he spent way too much on comics. He says, he can't participate this week. Okay, I get it. And he goes, and I said, no, come on, talk. I won't accept bids from you. You can come on and be a part of the show. Just I won't accept bids from you. But that was after I had just bought Solar #1, thinking so. But the good thing is it won't be here this week for him. Even if I call up and get him to hold it for me, I won't be able to pick it up until Sunday, so it'll be here next week.
All right.
But I really want that Herbie #1 because that's rare.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
On a side note, like after you cover the history of the Platinum Age of comic books, as a suggestion, you could also talk about the Atomic Age, which is another historical age of comic books that not many people talk about. Because besides the advent of television, but it's also during a time where science fiction, fantasy, and horror and crime thrillers were at their peak.
What you're talking about around the late 40s and mid 50s before,
Correct.
Of course, the Flash. That's also the period where E.C. Gaines started making his big moves and got the attention of that perverted scientist that said, hey, I read Batman and Robin. They're fucking. Yeah.
There's a special place in hell for people who stymie artistic movements. And
how are you listening to a man who read the same Batman comics as you and went, wow, he's Dork and Robin, isn't he?
It's like Frederick Wortham. If I ran the universe, there would be a special place in hell for him.
James, what was your message? Was that Mad book reprint or no? It was an original Mad magazine or Mad comic. It wasn't magazine yet. And he actually said, "Well, he gave me his business card and says, I have stuff for you to put on auction in eBay." Okay. Last time he did that, I was basically buying overstock. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But yeah. What was your message there, James? I'll answer. I'm in a good mood today. I had a great day.
You said you were going to do an old friend. I'm like, first thing I thought is your friend who basically disowned you because you voted for Trump.
Oh, I would love to talk to Tony again. I still hold in my heart that he is like a brother to me. Unfortunately, and my door will always be open to him. I am not so willing to give up a friend for politics, and that's not a judgment on him. That's not a side stab or anything like that, but that's just my character. And so I would love to talk to my friend Tony again to actually be friends with him when he did what he did. He had gotten in line with some communists, and I'm not joking that he literally, he told me they're communists. And you know how it is with them. If you step out of line, you can't be a part of the group. So I guess something in there he found a sense of identity or something along those lines. So when I would challenge the ideas, because he literally said, you have an answer for everything. That was one of the things when he was getting mad at me. You have an answer for everything. I was like, yeah, because
you're transparently wrong. Sorry.
All the things that he was going through, I thought about, and I know you're wrong. It's not. Some things are not a matter of opinion, and the fact that communism is full of shit is not an opinion. It is a fact. And
46 shots on goal, 100 million dead people.
so the people who were, you see, I was arguing with them, and the people who were just saying yes and agreeing with him all the time were accepting him, and he did what he felt he needed to do.
Well, and that's what it is. It's so much nicer to have people agree with you all the time. Make you feel more, but you feel smarter. You feel more loved. And as soon as somebody tells you you're wrong, you get offended.
Well, but see, that's the thing. I would hope that there are people around like me who don't want yes men around all the time and don't expect everyone to agree
Right.
with you all
James,
the time, because that would be so boring and soul-sucking.
Dalton in a nutshell. Fuck that guy.
Well, also,
Okay,
also
so James asked this question. It's why are superhero movies declining? Now, by the way, I've seen so many gosh darn videos on this topic, and all of them, of course, woke.
Quality.
Go woke, go broke, and there is something to that. There is something to that because, of course, if you make a great movie, we go see it. Look at Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man No Way Home. People glommed onto Guardians of the Galaxy 3 this last year.
Even Multiverse of Madness managed to make almost $1 billion, despite people not liking it, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
There are movies out there, but that's a symptom. The wokeness is a symptom of a bigger problem. The whole DEI thing that was going through. Let me tell you what's going on. There is an organization or a bank. I forget what it is. It's called BlackRock, and they give loans. Not just like, okay, you want to buy a house? Here's $10,000. No, they give to, say, Disney. Oh, you're going to rebuild your theme park attraction and you need $450 million. We're your people. But we have this new thing. It's called diversity, equity, and inclusion. The only way we're going to give you $450 million is if you make sure you are following these guidelines for that rule. Now, a lot of people love to scream. A lot of people love to scream woke, 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 but it's not just that. It's the fact that you have somebody who is holding money in order to control the way people think and the way people do things. And that is one of the biggest problems. That's why Disney is one of the people who are clinging on to the whole DEI thing over most companies who basically a lot of companies told BlackRock to go spit. Look, we'll do what you want, but we're going out of business here. We need to make money. And if we don't make money, we can't even do your freaking loan thing. So they told BlackRock to go hang. And Disney, however, who just right before the pandemic did all sorts of reconstruction. Remember, they built 2 Star Wars lands, like them or not, right before everything shut the down.
And we need money.
So they spent a shit ton of money only to have the next year, but in Disney terms, 2 years to be lesser because Walt Disney World, while in Florida, is run by a company in California. So a lot of the rules that they follow come from in California. So if Disney's closed or they're limitedly or in limit open, I don't know what I'm trying to say, limited opening, they still follow those rules. So they need the money so bad. And once again, it's easy to go woke, 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 but there are deeper problems as far as Hollywood is concerned.
Well, and even wokeness itself has a deeper problem in that, and I will maintain this, the worst part of wokeness isn't the identity politics part, it's the meritocracy is bad, objectivity is bad, harmful social constructs. It's that part of wokeness, the deconstructive part of wokeness, that's the biggest problem. Because if you have these diversification credentials, but it was related to, how can we find the most quality people of these demographics, that would be one thing. But on the other side of wokeness, you have the meritocracy is bad, artistic integrity is bad, blah, 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 blah.
Let me answer this question here. MARANYA, it's called Dave's Comics. I don't know the booth number. I not on me. I don't have a receipt.
I'd say look it up in the actual website for the convention.
Oh yeah, that's right. I would be able to find it. Yeah, it's called Dave's Comics. I'm hoping I'll go out to the car and find these books, but
for me, as far as the whole superhero thing, I'm just getting kind of bored by it because I want more than just superhero stuff.
As far as comic book movies, you want more than that?
Yeah, just movies. Yeah. I mean, I want a really good James Bond, but we haven't had one in a while.
Well,
I watch shows like Reacher, and
that's neither here or there with superhero films.
I'm just saying.
I do agree that superhero movies, we have superheroes. Now, what are you going to do with them? You know, that's where we're at right now. We've seen the superhero movies. Now, what are you going to do with them? New Mutants teased at horror. Okay, let's go full on freaking horror. As bad as it was, Josh Trank's Fantastic Four was supposed to be body horror, like a Cronenberg film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they should go with that. You could do. We've seen it done before with a heist film with Ant-Man. We've seen a spy film with Captain America.
And that's one of the biggest problems with Phase 4, because Phases 1 through 3 was all about let's get all the toys out. Yeah. And now that all the toys are out, the question is, okay, now that all the toys are out and you have them all, what are you going to do with them? And usually the answer comes in, as you were saying, with the, well, BlackRock says ESG requires this, and therefore we're going to not do the straightforward Fantastic Four that everybody knows and has wanted since the Corman era.
What is Midnight Edge?
It's a YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
It's a geek news channel that's on kind of our side of the culture war.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted more Punisher movies. John Wick was awesome. Imagine if that was a Punisher movie, though.
I know, right? But that's the thing. So goodness, how help me out if I say it wrong there, Dalton, because you can sometimes pick this up. They need to stop thinking of the genre superhero movies. They need to start thinking of, you have a superhero, now find the genre.
What's the subgenre? Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, you can like take for example Excalibur. It's not only lighter and softer than say New Mutants was dealt with horror. With Excalibur, it deals with fantasy through Captain Britain.
Yeah, so why not make fantasy films with superheroes?
And I've been begging and I've been beating this drum for ages. Can I please get my, cosmic mystical weirdness hit, please? Werewolf by Night kind of hit the itch.
It tickled it.
Multiverse of Madness kind of hit the itch, but that's just the start of where it could be. And that's the thing. There are so many characters that are so, like, we've done all of the notable mainstream characters. You don't have to avoid making non-mainstream characters, though. You just need to find the angle that will get people in seats.
You know what? I hate the fact that people will go, well, nobody knows Dr. Druid. No shit. But you know what nobody knew of also? Forrest fucking Gump. Nobody knew who he was, and that ended up becoming a $200 million movie. I hate when people say, I don't know it. Nobody knew Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody, and they actually still use that as an excuse. Well, nobody knew Ms. Marvel. Nobody knew Iron Man, except for us. Nobody knew a lot of characters.
Nobody knew Thor for the longest time, etc. and so on.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah. So, by the way, before John Wick became a hit, did anybody know of John Wick? No. I hate that freaking excuse.
You have to put the effort in to make people aware of it.
My question is,
people don't know. Tell them then.
Disney
hell. Sorry, Venkman, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Disney has so many other properties that they can do instead of worrying about the Marvel MCU. They can do a DuckTales movie. Do you know
I agree with you.
I mean, IPs they have just in there that they don't do anything with.
Well, but the Marvel IP well is far from dry itself. Why in God's name did they skip all the way over the 70s, 80s, 90s, and etc. and go all the way to All New, All Different? That's 40 years worth of storytelling that you could have adapted into at least 30 years of content, and they skipped right over it and went into the All New, All Different well instead. for some
I
reason.
was talking about how if you really think about it, you do not want Disney to get a hold of the mutants. You don't want them to get a hold of the Fantastic Four. Let those be with different studios. And a lot. Oh no, I want to see the mutants in the MCU. You do no, you don't.
I do.
I'll tell you what. Let me
want it done well.
Let me finish. The reason being is because you put all of Marvel under one banner, then you're limited, because Disney's only going to put out a number of films every year, and they're not going to all be Marvel. So it's going to tear into that particular budget. If you have Disney and then you have 20th Century Fox and you have Universal and all of these studios vying for time, you get more superhero movies.
Well,
and and frankly, that's what I want. Yeah, I know some of them are going to be bad, but guess what? Some of all movies are going to be bad. In one year, you get Fear, and in the other one, you get what was it called? Just Right or whatever, the movie with a hand. 2 freaking horror films in the same year, and guess what? Talk to me. One was awesome, one was suck. And by the way, the next time somebody tells me, oh, superhero movies are taking freaking over, when we've got 100,000 horror films every year, 350 million spy films, and then you get 6 superhero movies in a year.
Maybe 8 if you're lucky. Yeah.
And you're telling me that superhero movies are taking over? No, they're taking over the advertisement. That's what.
If that's the case, then if there's all these supernatural movies, why don't they do the supernatural movie characters as far as the superheroes?
That's what Dalton just said.
No. I'm agreeing with him. I agree with them though. As far as that, they should be going in. They should going into Hellblazer. They should be going into Dr. Druid or even
Midnight Suns. I mean, they're already basically halfway there with Midnight Suns. Multiverse of Madness doubled down on the horror vibe. Werewolf by Night was the best thing in Phase 4. Blade, if they do it right, which is a big asterisk, but if they do Blade right, that's 3 members of the Midnight Suns done and ready to go. 4 if you count Man-Thing, because he was in Werewolf by Night. And Alpha Bloodstone too. So the job is almost done.
Oh, I said Dr. Druid. And I would want Dr. Doom because he's the most awesome of all.
Dr. Doom is the best villain there is when it comes to Marvel Universe.
Please,
if they want
somebody give me a Triumph and Torment movie, I would explode and I would die happy.
Here's how you set up the Marvel Universe to succeed. You do your Fantastic Four movie, and you tease Doom. And then you end with your Secret Wars film where Doom has taken the powers of the Beyonder at the end of it. You got 4 films, whatever they are, they have to lead to the Secret Wars where Doom takes the power of the Beyonder.
For me, I wouldn't even tease Doom yet. I want him to do other stuff and then Doom by the 3rd movie.
Point being is Doom is the answer, in my opinion, to saving the Marvel Universe. Yeah.
Honestly, I wish in this intermediary phase, I wish they had focused on a horde of Celestials and then possibly Galactus. That would have been a good.
Can you share? I'm sorry, I got to interrupt. Maranya, can you share that in our DM so I could copy it? Hey, England team. I'm sorry. Go on ahead, and then I'll read this one.
But yeah, I don't know why, for the life of me, they didn't bother doing anything with the Celestials in Phase 4 because they already had the Celestials set up in 2 Guardians movies and then several times, I think, also in Thor Ragnarok. So you could have easily done something with the Celestials, and then the next, Thanos level threat could have been a horde of Celestials coming to cleanse the Earth.
Yeah,
and then after
Eternals
them, you could
put a freaking nail in that coffin.
Well, yes, because they literally took the most Jack Kirby-esque thing they could have ever possibly done and went, how do we remove as much Jack Kirby from this as possible? And it's just like, how... I'm just imagining the meaning of, how the first 2 Guardians movies and Thor Ragnarok did really well? Yeah. Well, what if we did the exact opposite with the even more weird IP? Why? Why did somebody decide that Eternals needed to be an Oscar bait movie instead of the cosmic, trippy, weird nonsense that it's supposed to be?
To quote them, Doom.
The bottom line is those characters were done really dirty.
They were
also, spit on the face of Jack Kirby.
it's another case of everyone in the Black Pill set was going, why did anyone ever think that you could adapt Eternals? And I'm like, if
That's
they had
what-
it can't
adapted it
work.
right, you could have easily adapted Eternals. They just didn't bother doing it
You
right.
can adapt
E-
anything. And okay, you guys know how I feel about the black pills and some of the stuff that they say. I do still think that MCU is an awesome T-shirt slogan, but when put to thought, it's a bullshit statement.
Well, yeah.
Everybody wanted a She-Hulk film because She-Hulk is awesome. Everybody wanted a She-Hulk TV show because She-Hulk is awesome. What people didn't want was a shit show, and that's what we
was
ended up
a
getting.
She-Hulk that was Gender Studies 101 and
Yeah.
Middle-Aged Bitterness 101.
Unfortunately, the term MCU says women out. The term, and I think there was one shirt Gary wore that literally said "Make Marvel male again." Which, by the way, once again, I don't know what you're saying behind the video. It doesn't matter what you're saying behind the title. The title says you don't want women in the Marvel universe, which is
It's an
horseshit.
optics fail.
I will debate anybody on that freaking panel about this. It's horseshit because you're not going to convince me you didn't want a good She-Hulk movie or that you didn't want a good Captain Marvel movie. You know, where there are a lot of awesome female characters that are being written like shit. Sure, I'm with you on that, but don't give me any of this make Marvel male again bullshit when if they made a good She-Hulk movie, your ass wouldn't have thought about any of that anyway. So once again, great T-shirt slogan, but when you think about it, it falls to
It's
shit.
an optics fail.
It really is.
It's an optics fail is what it is. And it makes it easier for the people who will inevitably make hit pieces about us one way or the other.
Oh yeah,
it makes it easier for them to do
women.
some hit pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
Because they're gonna make the hit pieces anyway, but if we show the world at large that they're wrong and hysterical and obviously not paying attention, that's one thing. But if we tee up
Thank you,
the
MARANYA.
hit pieces to do their hit piece thing, we can't be surprised when they do inevitably make those hit pieces.
Yeah. By the way, James, what you're saying there, this is how I'm going to answer the question. I don't answer those questions. They're full of shit. That's it. That's
Sounds like a
it.
troll question to me.
If Dominic right now decided to play the race card, I would ignore him. I would know that he's being dumb, and I would hope that at some point in time he knew he was being dumb.
In fairness, I think James is joking.
Okay. If that's the case, but point being is I don't really go for those because they're trap questions. A lot of times when you get somebody on the left and they ask you about a race of anything, what they're trying to do is throw you off because they are losing the argument. And so they'll say, well, don't you agree that this is racism? And aren't you a racist if you don't agree? Why the fuck would you even entertain that? My whole thing is I'm glad you got that out of your system. I don't know if you're a dumbass, but you just said a dumbass thing.
Yeah, normal people don't give a shit about race, period.
So, I mean, we have never given a crap about race, orientation, sexual orientation, or anything for a good long while. But this loud vocal minority wants
for at least a year and a half. My two co-hosts were a bisexual freaking damn near paraplegic, and I don't know what you called it, and a freaking bisexual black guy who a couple of times I had to rein in.
Corrupt and I did occasionally go.
So yeah, don't get me. Yeah, I don't fall into the whole. No,
is it Oreo panel?
Yeah. There you go. But no, everybody's welcome so long as they have something to add to the conversation. Don't you agree that Wakanda is racist, though? Yes.
And isolationists. Don't forget that.
They're isolationists, yes.
They're literally an ethno-state.
Okay, I wouldn't say Wakanda is racist. I would say that Killmonger was. Because Killmonger very much was. The problem with the world is the white person, and we need to go kill the white person because they are the problem with the world.
And the only reason why the pseudo-intelligentsia kept losing their crap over Killmonger and being like, oh, he's so well written, is because he was literally the embodiment of every, far-flung BLM talking point. He was the George Floyd emblem before there was George Floyd, basically.
And the Black Panthers, which even though like that's not who Killmonger is in the books. Both like how he was handled in the Black Panther movie was
Yeah, but
interesting.
Ryan Coogler specifically wrote him because he wanted a quote unquote sympathetic villain, and apparently in Ryan Coogler's head, sympathetic villain means BLM talking points
Do you-
and Black Panther talking points.
Do you
and so on.
think they're gonna race swap Doctor Doom?
Yeah, sure, of course.
He's gonna
I
be
really
black.
hope not.
Why
I
would they
really
not?
hope not.
But what if they gender swap him and he's a better ex of Reed Richards
Don't give them any ideas.
or Sue
Big
Storm?
Venkman,
Okay,
please.
I want to put a little bit of because you guys know how I feel about some race swaps and everything, but the thing is, here's how I would accept a race swap. Don't tell me, just do it. I did not care when okay, Michael Clark Duncan is going to play the Kingpin. Fuck yes. Yes.
Awesome actor playing awesome
When-
character.
When-
What's wrong
yeah,
here?
but that's the thing. They didn't say, "Oh, well, we're going to get a black guy for Kingpin." No, they found the best guy for it, Michael freaking Clark Duncan, and they put him in the Daredevil movie. Yes, I
And he
don't
was
care.
terrifying as Wilson Fisk.
And I mean the probably example is in Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman plays a character
yeah,
called
right,
Red
Red,
and makes the joke
yeah.
about the joke about being Irish because in the short story that Shawshank Redemption is actually based on, Red is an Irishman. But
He's
you
a
know what?
redheaded
No
Irishman.
one in their right mind has ever cared
You
that
know
it
what,
was
though?
Morgan frickin' Freeman, other than to say that Morgan frickin' Freeman is the
I-
best character in that movie.
I really don't care what race Doctor Doom is, as long as he's just never see it. He's always in the freaking mask, and that's it.
The problem with, I mean, okay, one of the big race swap announcements was that when they do the X-Men, they might have Giancarlo. What is his name again?
Wolverine's gonna be black.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo, yeah, that he was going to be Magneto. Is there anyone who really has a problem?
No, he was going to be Xavier, but
Okay,
yeah.
either one. Point being is, does anybody think that he couldn't fucking handle that role?
Yeah, no, I heard that and I immediately went, yes, please do that.
The
That would be
problem
awesome.
is they didn't say we want him there because he's John Esposito, whatever his name.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
I
Said that they were looking for a black Xavier, and then it's like, no, you don't need to say. You just need to say Giancarlo Esposito, and we'll be like, freaking yeah.
Yeah,
I'm-
like we got the guy who played Gus Fring and Stan Edgar to play Charles freaking Xavier. Shut up and take my money.
I'm just saying. I like coming up with the worst scenarios. Like, what would they? If they really want to go really into it, they could have Wolverine race off.
Well, we've already
and deal with slavery his whole entire life.
we've already seen the bit where they're thinking of marginalizing Reed in Fantastic Four and making Sue the main character and making it about oppression and having Silver Surfer be female so that it can be a girl power movie.
Oh,
They're already pretty much there already. That's why I don't think they're probably going to race swap Doom when we get there, because Doom is, after all, a villain, and the one area where they love white people to be is in the villain role. Also, maybe that's cope on my part, because we might still get Mads Mikkelsen as Doom in a perfect world, please.
When I was talking to Mitch Gerard, I said, "You talk to Tom King? You gonna talk?" I said, "You gonna talk to Tom King soon?" And this is to answer MK's question about Supergirl's casting. And he goes, "Yeah, of course. He's gonna be here tomorrow." And I said, "Cool. I'm not gonna be here, but can you ask him now that they cast Rooster Cogburn? Who do you think they're kind of cast as Maddie?" Because Mitch laughed because he knows. I said, "That is true grit, dude." And yeah, that's what I think about the casting of Supergirl. I thought the story was okay. I like the young lady from what was it, the House of Dragons or whatever it was called.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, the new Game of Thrones. I thought she was fine. She was fine in it. So yeah, let's see what she does, man. Seriously, I'm in. The one thing I would have to say that would go against it is they're supposedly doing this Supergirl that was based on True Grit. So Supergirl should have a little weight to her. And I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about she should have some gravitas.
Mm-hmm.
This girl looks 16. So I think an older Supergirl would have done better. If they could have gotten an actress like a Blake Lively or somebody who looks like they're in the late 20s, early 30s, or mid 30s even, that's who I would have gone for, because she's supposed to be Rooster Cogburn. If you guys have ever seen the True Grit with John Wayne, or
Yes,
the Coen brothers with Jeff Bridges.
Western.
Yeah, that's who Supergirl is in this story. She's John Wayne and she's Jeff Bridges in True Grit. So
I like Meg Donnelly because on the Winchesters, she did really well. So I was playing a much more seasoned veteran when it came to like hunting, because she grew up with that stuff.
So obviously, if she looks older, she probably is a better choice. I'm not saying this girl's. I thought she was fine in House of Dragons.
It's like casting Jenna Ortega to play Rogue to me.
Yeah, sorry.
I am a little curious as to which way they're gonna go with the relationship between Kara and Clark, because are they gonna go that Superman is naive and he needs to be cynical and grow up, and then Kara's gonna, knock him down a couple pegs? Or are they gonna go that his optimism softens her and makes her open up to the world? I would love to see the second one. The first one might turn into feminazi territory again, and that wouldn't be good.
Oh, okay. So James was joking around about a character named Dr. Droom. James, I apologize for misreading, but I would like to point out that I am not wearing my glasses now, so sometimes I do misread.
Old man misreads chat.
That being said, talking about the race swaps that actually worked, Heimdall by Idris Elba.
Well, I also want to point out that
and Baron Mordo for Doctor Strange.
I want to also point out he lowercase Droom, and there's a lot of people in this chat here that typo like hell always. So I never know if somebody's actually meaning Dr. Doom or Droom.
Right. Yeah, it is a problem, because it's like, did you mean that typo or did you not mean that typo?
It's just YouTube. People misspell and they talk about God. Literally in the comment sections and the chats. It's ridiculous.
But I do agree with Rhaegar. The part of the problem that does it for me, Rhaegar, like I said, is the announcement. If you're putting the best actor in there, fine. But modern day, they're not just doing that. They used to all the time, like Dalton mentioned with Morgan Freeman and such. A lot of people probably didn't know it was a race swap character.
I think
they don't announce it. They put in the best actor for the job, and boom.
I personally, I would have loved it because of the fact that you've got Megan Donnelly, be it. She's already voiced Supergirl twice in their DC animated movies, so she has some recognition from that.
It's just like me hoping that, even though I think it's stupid to have two Batmen going at once, I think somebody should have offered Matt Reeves all the money to let the Robert Pattinson Batman be the DCU's Batman, but apparently they didn't. But if they're assuming that they need to have two Batman going at once, let Jensen Ackles do it, because we know he can do it in terms of the voice, because he's done it in animation several times now, and we know he can do it in live action because of Soldier Boy and other characters like that. So, not to mention, he got one of his early starts playing Jason in Smallville, and that would be a nice Easter egg if he became that.
If you think about it, like James Gunn has already cast all these names like this. We haven't seen it yet though, but it's like Marvel drags their feet on casting. They wait to the very last minute to tell you who it is.
And honestly, on some level, that's smart of Marvel, because now we have to wait to see how the pieces fit together, instead of getting each announcement piecemeal and going, okay, how does this fit together? Because one of the problems with the way that the Gunverse has been handled, regardless of how James Gunn is likely going to, do his James Gunn thing and pull out a miracle, which please let me be right about that and wrong about everything else. But one of the problems with the Gunverse, the way it's been handled, especially in the announcements, is because it's being announced so piecemeal and being thrown together piece by piece, it really doesn't seem like it coalesces. And it honestly seems like DC is trying to, once again, skip over the setup phases, skip over phase 1 and 2, and trying to move right to phase 3. And you can't just you can't just pull fan investment out of thin air, James, especially not when certain swaths of the fandom are pissed at you right now.
There is something we do on the Extreme Movie Show. It's called the Meg test. and I really hope this movie passed the Meg test. You get all these big names in there, and it sounds like a great idea and all that stuff. I really hope this movie succeeds, because that would be a really big win for DC if this comes through.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
And like I said, it's one of those I'm hoping to be wrong.
If I have to jump ship from the MCU to the DC, the Gunsverse, I'll do it, man.
Seriously, I want the Gunverse to work, because James Gunn is very much up my street. He very much gets the why weird stuff is cool thing. But
like I said, I'd settle for at least one comic company putting out good movies versus just having none.
And it would almost work. It would be almost poetic if, as soon as the MCU began to slip, DC finally got their crap together. Unfortunately, it seems like very much they don't yet have their crap together. And hoping that I'm wrong, but I still think they're trying to jump the queue, skip over phases 1 and 2, and open an established universe out of the can, and that's going to be hard to do, given that DC has spent the last year and 2 or 3 years, and hell, the Snyderverse was never particularly well liked to begin with. So, like, DC has a lot of PR work to do to earn back the fans' trust, and I'm not sure they can just go from 0 to phase 3 in 5 seconds, like it seems like they want to do.
To answer MK's question, I think I would be more excited to have a multiverse movie where Keanu Reeves met Matt Reed, or whatever his name was.
Matt Ryan. Yeah.
I want Keanu Reeves starring a Matt Reeves film. That'd be crazy. It's a movie about Christopher Reeves with Keanu Reeves.
That's what he's asking. He's asking, would you be excited if they did that? If they did a crossover with the two Constantines? And I think I would be more excited than, yeah.
I'd prefer just Matt Ryan, honestly. The man has done his time. He has the fan investment. He is as close to a real world Constantine as we've ever gotten. And he actually has a love for the character, or at least he did before he got sick of playing. I would say
just cast Billy Idol as the new Hellblazer. Let it go with it.
Honestly, I've always been thinking of Daniel O'Reilly, assuming that they won't want to give Matt Ryan the keys to the kingdom, which they should, but assuming they don't, and they want a more cinematic Constantine. There's a guy by the name of Daniel O'Reilly who used to do a thing called Dapper Laughs. He would be perfect as a cinematic Constantine.
Dominic, what's your thoughts? You've been here for 20 minutes with nothing to say.
Man, you have to point out the obvious, huh?
Well, I didn't want you to fall asleep on the panel.
Rhaegar. I love Keanu, but he has not yet to this day played a satisfactory version of Constantine. That's why I jokingly refer to him as Nonstantine whenever he comes up. I love Keanu Reeves as a actor, but unless he's willing to get a blonde eye job, dust off a British accent, and be a Sting riff, which is what Constantine is supposed to be, then he has not yet and has demonstrated no tendency to play Constantine.
MARANYA, I would not cast Sting because Sting sucks without the police.
Sting is also very, very old now. I want a John in his 20s and 30s so we can have him for a while.
I think movie, if both Constantines played by Ryan and Reeves respectively, somehow they meet each other through some mystical mayhem, and plus Warner Bros. Have Hellblazer right in front of them. They can use one of the stories as inspiration for said movie.
The Golden Boy story.
Yeah,
I could see Keanu playing essentially the Golden Boy version. Although I just got a better idea. Have Keanu in the Hellblazer movie, but have him play Nick Necro.
Ooh.
Or Alec Logue. he has that kind of Rasputin-y vibe to him, especially with the beard. Have him play one of John's nemesis. That's how you cameo the old non-Constantine Constantine and the new more proper Constantine without ticking off either side. Or heck, even you could have him be Papa Midnight for all I care. Like, I'm not against him being in a movie. I just don't think playing a generic occult detective is one thing, but not all generic occult detectives are Constantine.
Ooh. Going back to the horror thing.
Ooh.
Give me a Spectre movie. I want him just brutally murdering people. Release it at Halloween.
Yeah, based on the John Ostrander run, that would be
Michael
some
Fleischer
good shit.
one. Was that one before that? Was the Michael Fleischer before that?
I don't remember in what order they came in. I say the John Ostrander run because it really focused on the like epic Old Testament like religious grandeur of the Spectre.
Whatever the one with the Veteran Comics was. That's what I was talking about.
No, kids, I am crashing. I did a lot of walking and it's coming to it. So
yeah, it's 3 a.m. So
that let's see what we have going on. Tomorrow is the auction. So show up at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and all the books that I showed you tonight are going to be there, as well as others. I had an unboxing just a couple of days ago. A lot of cool stuff came in. We got a whole bunch of Wizard 1/2s. You saw the good stuff I showed today. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. We got some King Spawn, some Gunslinger Spawn, some Teen Titans, a lot of good stuff. So starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, there we go. On Saturday, we're going to do something this time around. I've been wanting to check. Oh, you know what? There is Green Lantern #4 there, Dalton. So yeah, we definitely have some fun ahead of us.
the
Alan Scott,
Green
Green Lantern
Lantern.
4. Let's put that.
Not to mention Bad Zorro at some point.
At some time we got to talk about Bad Zorro.
It's very riveting.
You two are still reading that?
We are, because it's
fun to set on fire.
Yeah, it's a horrible book, unfortunately, but yeah, it's
touché.
Yeah,
it's fun to set on fire, though. If Lancaro's not going to let bad comics burn anymore because he's too close to the politics, then we'll do it.
And on Sunday, I will be going again to the Megacon. I may have some more books for the following auction and all that kind of stuff, but hopefully, I just have. I'm good with just the 2 if that's all I walk out with. I just want to get what I paid for. All right. That being said, kids, it's not Bad Zorro. It's Bad Zorro. Yeah.
It's my joking title for this new Bizarro thing they did.
Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm glad we talked about a few more topics than just the convention and all, but I had a great time talking about the convention. It was a lot of fun. That being said, thank you very much for hanging out. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night, kids.
Cheers, guys.
See you all later.